My name's Sam, and if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. A huge thanks to Marshall Mercedes of South Lakes for allowing me to do this video today, and they've even let me test drive this car, which is absolutely great. They've been so accommodating and I definitely recommend them. The link's in the description. So let's get on with the review. First off, we're starting with the outside of the Mercedes A-Class. This model here is the A35 performance model, sitting quite high in performance. It's got 306 horsepower and it does go like stink. Headlights now are standard at the LED. On SE models you get halogens, but now the range starts from the Sport model, which starts from £25,975, which means you get LED headlights as standard, as well as 17-inch instead of 16-inch alloy wheels. Paint colour options for the A-Class are really good, and metallic paints are only £595. This here is the Polar White, which is standard on all models, free of charge. That's a good colour to have as standard rather than models like the Volkswagen Golf that give you grey as standard. It's a nice colour, but I personally really like the denim blue. That's £595, as well as the rose gold, which is a new option for 2022, and that is also £595. Wheels start from 16 inches on the SE and go all the way up to 19 inches on the top of the range models. These are 18-inch wheels, but they do have quite a decent sidewall, and in comfort mode I drove this car and it was really comfortable, surprisingly. Suspension was really good and felt really similar to my Volkswagen Golf that has 16-inch alloy wheels. And this is finished in the black metallic colour. These are the 17-inch sport wheels that you get, and they are just one colour silver. Personally, I prefer two-tone alloy wheels, but I actually like these wheels more than that's on the AMG lines, which look a bit more sharp, a bit more aggressive looking. But these wheels are really nice, and of course you've got a thicker tyre wall then, so you're going to have a bit of a comfier ride. But like I say, the 18 inches on the A35 AMG with the comfort mode on, I was completely fine. What's the design like to the rear of the Mercedes A-Class? Well, you've got twin exhaust, and that's really nice, and this rear diffuser as well. All cars have twin exhausts, even from the base model, and they look really nice, even if they are not real twin exhausts. I'm just looking at the AMG line over there, but they still look really good and they're very good fakes. These ones are proper real exhausts though. And this is the design of the Sport model at the back. And then we go over, and that's the AMG. Now you can see they've added a few extra bits, but from the base model, it still looks really stylish, I think, and really smart and well put together. So inside is really where the A-Class shines, and granted this is the £40,000 model AMG model, but they feel pretty similar from the base range. This steering wheel is so impressive and really very chunky. It's the same steering wheel you get on most Mercedes models, so you feel like you're in a premium hatchback, even though it's not as expensive as most premium cars out there. This car here has a 10.25 dual screen system, and it doesn't actually look that big, which is not a bad thing because it doesn't stick up much at all, and it's more of a sort of wide, thin screen rather than a big one. And you don't need a big screen in a car. I think that's a silly trend that's become about. I have got a screen in my Golf and I don't really use it. It just says what radio station is playing or if I've got sat nav on, but I don't really need it. So they've really done a nice, simple, clean design. One thing that I don't like about the interior is the dark headlining, and unfortunately this is standard on every single model of car. That's the same with rivals like the A3. They also have a dark headlining in every model, and that's really a shame. You can get a sunroof if you want, but you have to be on higher specs to even opt for a sunroof, which is really annoying. I prefer light headlinings that you can find in the Volkswagen Golf, Citroen C4, as well as the Vauxhall Astra. If you don't want integrated headrests on Sport and Sport Executive models as well as SE, you get separate headrests, which is a much better design, I think. In Sport Executive, you get cream leatherette as standard, which looks absolutely stunning. But if you've got kids or pets, obviously that's going to get messy quite quick. So maybe that's not the option for you. A little look at the boot and see what that's like inside. So this is not an electric boot, but it's fine because it's very lightweight. You've got a parcel shelf. It's made of quite a strange fabric. I don't like it. It doesn't feel very nice. But the boot is where this car's let down a little bit compared to rivals. It's got a 355 litre boot as standard. It does also have your false floor, which is a really good thing to have, so everything lays flat. And I have to say, it looks like a similar size to the Golf when looking at it, but practically it's not the same size as that car. It's about 25 litres less. If you go for the hybrid model, your boot size goes down to 310 litres, which is the same size as a Peugeot 208, so it's a whole class lower in boot size and practicality. So especially if you've got a pram or a buggy or anything like that, want to load lots of things in this car, maybe it's not the hatchback to go for. You might want to go for something with a bigger boot, like the standard 380, that is like the class standard on the Citroen C4 and Volkswagen Golf, or you can opt for the saloon that has a 420 litre boot, which drops down to 315 if you go for the hybrid option. The 420 litre boot of the saloon is pretty much class standard, much better than this hatchback boot as well. And I can see lots more people going for that saloon as well now. It's become a really popular choice, and I can see why, because I think it's even more stylish than this 5-door version. We've also got grab handles here on the boot to make it easier to shut, like that. So I'm going to take a look in the back seats of the A-Class now and see what it's like back there. This is the back seat of the Mercedes A-Class. Now this model has the integrated headrest, which is a bit annoying, and you don't really get a good view forwards. If you do have kids, this is not good, especially if they get travel sick. They can't see forwards at all really, unless they go to the side, and it's not really designed the best for passengers. We also don't have a rear armrest on this model. That is a shame that it doesn't have that. I mean, rivals are standard. The seats in the back of here, I can say, are really comfortable. Even with this integrated headrest, they're quite comfortable. What I do have to say is, again, with kids, if this is integrated headrest is not the best idea. As well, for your rear visibility, if you're driving this car mostly on your own and you opt for this model, these headrests are very high up and you can't do anything to lower them down. That is an annoyance. You can lower the middle one down, but not these two. They're fixed and stuck there pretty much. You've got plenty of knee room though, and lots of headroom. Quite big, feels okay, but it does feel a bit more cramped in here because of the dark headlining. You feel a bit more claustrophobic, and it's not that great. You have got this little cubby though here at the back, which is very smart, and it's got 2 USB-C points. Other cars like the Nissan Qashqai have got a USB-C and a USB-A, which means it's like good to go in the future, and you can also use USB, but this is just USB-C, so you might have to buy some new cables. We've also got 2 vents in the back of here as well. It's not the most family friendly in the back of here. Also, the shoulder line is quite high, so again, and the windows are tinted. If you do want a family car, I'd pick the Citroen C4 because it's got a much brighter, lighter interior and is much more comfortable for families and practical for families too. So this was the exciting bit where I actually got to test drive the A-Class, and like what I can say is I really enjoyed it. It was really smooth and the suspension was quite soft for the wheels that it was on. What I can say is I wish I'd put my foot down a bit more and heard the engine. I would have liked to change gears, but I was in the automatic version. I think it's good, the gearbox, so like it's very smooth.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's very smooth, it's not clunky either.
So, what are some things I don't like about this car? Well, if you like changing gears, you can't do that unless you get the base SE model or base Sport model, then you can do that. But if you want to spec out your Mercedes A-Class to your heart's content, you cannot have a manual gearbox. Bit unfortunate. If you would like a sunroof on your Mercedes A-Class, you're going to have to get the Premium Pack Plus, which is a bit annoying. It's not as accessible as other cars where you can just pay your £800 to £1,000 normally about to get a sunroof. Doesn't this rear window tint look so nice? It's a bit dark in here. The dark headlining combined with this rear window tint make it quite dark and claustrophobic inside the back. Pros definitely outweigh its cons. It's got a lot of pros, this car, at that as well. First of all, the range starts from 25,975 and goes all the way up to 57,000. So there's a car and engine for pretty much everyone. Another great thing about this car is its looks. This is the sport model, and doesn't it just look amazing? I think all trim models look really good. The SE does look a little bit lackluster, but when you go for sport and above, which is going to be the new range anyway, they're going to phase out SE, it looks really nice. You've got these LED lights now as standard, and it all just looks very sporty and well put together. Let's talk safety on this Mercedes A-Class. As standard, it gets 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, which is absolutely great. Although many manufacturers are catching up with Mercedes in terms of safety and things like that, it's really good that Mercedes gets all these things as standard. If you are getting a Kia Ceed or a Citroen C4, you will need safety packs to get it up to a 5-star safety rating. I like that Mercedes just giving you everything and made sure that you're in a really safe car as standard. You can also get an advanced safety pack, although this is not needed to complete your 5-star safety rating. That advanced safety pack features a full list of extra safety features like active lane assist, active steering assist, cross traffic alert, blind spot detection, and many, many more things. And it's a £1,500 option. So if you're concerned about safety and want extra help with that, then that could be a really good option to get. So do I think that you should buy the Mercedes A-Class? Well, yeah, I do. If you want the most premium hatchback in this segment, then it's definitely an option to go for. Now, the pricing is a bit more, but because of the really low depreciation, it's worth looking at the combined cost over how many years you think you're going to own it, and you might actually be surprised. If you do have a family and you're carting around buggies, prams, and having kids in the back, I wouldn't recommend this car because I think it is just a bit too dark and not as practical as rivals. But if it's just yourself and you just want a nice, premium, smart, small car, then the Mercedes A-Class is definitely an option that you should consider. Thanks so much for watching this video today, and I do hope that you subscribe to my channel down below. Again, a big thanks to Mercedes-Benz of South Lakes for allowing me to do this video. I've had such a great time, and it was really nice to drive the A-Class as well.